Well, this is just a quick check. Just make sure this shit's working. Hopefully it is. Red light's on the camera. Just fire the bike up. It's a bit cold. Take a few seconds for those revs to drop. Just have a alert indicator over my shoulder. Yep. Firing gear. Oh. You got a car coming. Oh. Well, I've had a little bit of faff. Get on to business. This is probably going to be my first ever little vlog, diary, thingamajiggy, whatever you want to call it. Just a little insight into life, into biking around Oxfordshire, Oxford City specifically, most of the time. That's generally where I tend to commute through a lot, and I live just on the outskirts, so yeah, it's probably going to be where the majority of this stuff's, well, this sort of stuff's going to be. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything particularly exciting unless you are into kind of odd, weird, bizarre stuff. Yeah, because I must admit I'm not the most sanest or normal of people going. I think I'm generally an alright person, but yeah, I am a bit mad at times. I have to confess that. Right, anyway, enough waffle for the moment. Just trying this camera out to see what she's like. It is a Drift Ghost S HD. It's the latest and greatest. It's been out for a while. Thank you very much, I suppose, goes to that other rather well-known vlogger by the name of Mr. Von Grumble, the Baron, because I used his discount code on action cameras. Give me a nice 10% off. Basically, I got the camera, mic, and like 5 extra mounts for it, and they come to about the same price as just the camera on its own would have been. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I suppose this is probably one of the best times for me to actually do a test, because it's just sort of getting dark now. Time is 20 past 8, looking at the clock. I think that's right. I think it's probably a timestamp on this video actually. I'm probably going to take that off for future ones, because it kind of helps with the editing and stuff. I don't like that being on there. Well, waffle, 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 waffle. Yeah. Just seeing what she's like and having a bit of pootle around. In case you're wondering, I've just come through from Greater Leeds, just by the Kassam Stadium. I'm now in sort of like what is the arse end of, well, it's more to the side of Blackbird Leys. Horse path, and that is to my right behind the Lidl. Just coming up to the BMW factory, and it's like got some complete fucking cock. I don't know, fucking God knows what they're doing. Nice fucking bright lights. Mr. BMW. Anyway, that's the BM factory. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do know what it's like inside. I've worked there once or twice. Fuck's sake. I really am beginning to wonder why I fucking let people across junctions, because they never fucking pay attention. What on earth is this bloke doing? He actually come round me and went round me. That's why the car didn't come across, because he was behind me. He was the dick that tried to like overtake me across the chevrons. I mean, okay, fair enough, I probably would have done that if it was roles reversed, but I'm not a blooming 2-ton barge. and I was halfway in my lane where I was supposed to be, and he was coming up to a speed camera on the traffic island. Perhaps he's a secret motorcyclist. Oh, fuck's sake. No, I know why Grumbo swears so much. Everyone just seems to fucking ride like absolute dicks. Ride, drive. When you got a camera on, it's good to catch them. Get out their way quick. Anyway, that's the BM plant again. Just coming up onto what is known as the Eastern Bypass. Good job we didn't cross the throttle too much there. There's like Horsepath Road over there, these set of lights. Pony Road is just off of them. It's like where that big yellow storage is there. It used to be the old Fox FM building. I don't know if Farty Heart broadcasts from there. But anyway, god shit. I don't fucking worry about that. The lights. This area in the morning is just a absolute nightmare. It's so busy. Coming from Great Leeds, you can either go this way, or there's a different direction that you can take and actually go past what's known like Botley Way. And 9 times out of 10 I will go the other way around the ring road. I'm just going this way because it's a bit darker. The other way is pretty much lit up all the way, and this bit has its dark bits. I just want to see what the camera's going to be like coming this way. That's sort of like the arse end of Headington. Cody's in home base that I'd probably visit once in a blue moon. Coming up to the famous hamburger. Pardon me, it's actually really good. It's actually cut the congestion and eased the traffic quite a bit. Actually made quite a significant difference to this part of Oxford. All the London overspill, going up the A40, back home. Wow, actually that'll be coming back, wouldn't it? They're going to London, they're probably going to work. The job as a MP or GP or banker, something like that. You've got to be careful along here, watch your speed a bit, because the old camera vans like to hide in this lay-by up here. Yeah. It's probably full of Polish lorry drivers this time of night, sleeping. Quite a few foreign looking plates. A few on the other side. At least they don't park up by the Kassam anymore like they used to. Goodness me, there used to be lots there. And you'll notice I go I'm always laughing because of all the trash things that I say. Right. It's a bit of a not very exciting. So it's a bit dull, but it's nice to see. I'll just catch up this car. Just sort of see how well my light actually illuminates things. Oh, that's why it's a bit late, coming into a lit up part now. Quick look behind, traffic lights. Oh, they're going green, cool. A manoeuvre. Do. Let's get past them. Do. Yeah, the actual hamburger bit isn't this bit. Well, it's not for this section of road. It's actually you'll see it in a sec. It's actually so the traffic can cut straight across, and also go down that bit down there that you can see. It actually takes it down the other part of Eastern Bypass, the proper bit, down past the JR into Parktown stroke Summertown. Oh, pardon me. I just had my dinner, so I'm burping like a good one. Why aren't I filtering? Good question. Oh, my eyes is steamed up a little bit. It shouldn't do, it's got a fucking pin lock, but... Thought that was me then, left my indicator on, but actually the car behind flashing, the reflection of the car in front. Oh, Mark IV Golf, so quick! Try not to go too fast down here because I don't want my camera to fly off. And also I've got my textiles on and they're fucking pants. There's so much wind resistance compared to leathers. Anyway, going fairly high speed. There's my Mark Golf 5 miles behind. That has got to be one of the biggest shove car makes going these days. Mark IV Golf. They just have so many kerfuffles with them. By kerfuffles I mean incidents. Because they're just driven by the most dickish of people these days. Like probably for like the first 5 years of their existence, but you know, as they get older and cheaper, they do end up in the hands of the more common people. Because even the basic models weren't cheap, were they? Let's face it, a typical VW tax. And they sort of, people buy them and think that they're really like posh, or they're driving a top of the range Mercedes or something around the Lees. I suppose you have to know Oxford for that description, and then unless you look in the paper. Yeah, look in the paper actually, I'll Google it. Oxford Mail. Ooh, probably would have been sort of like the very early 90s. And look at Blackburn Lees and joyriding. It was like the joyriding capital of the universe in those days. And well, there's actually quite a few places. I grew up in a village called Kidlington, which we're just not far away from now. You get to this next roundabout, which is top of Parktown, I believe it's called, and just before Summertown, which Summertown is now ridiculously poncy. Never used to be. It was a 70s shithole. I know, because I grew up and not far from there, obviously being in Kidlington, which is just down the road, literally about 2 miles away. And yeah, I went there quite a bit, and the shops were just the most boring shops in the bloody world. And I just seem to remember going there lots, even though my parents didn't like it. I just can't think why. I think it's only saving grace it had like a Martin McColl's or something. You remember the old newsagent? Something like that. Was it Martin McColl or something? One with like the beigey colour shop front, the signage, and like the blue writing in a very sort of nondescript basic font. Yeah, I'll just chat shit for ages. Ooh, actually had a pop out is awesome. Blimey, maybe my Yoshimura is getting a little bit more noisy. Yeah, anyway, Summertown, go. This is how poncy it is. It's got a B&O, Bang & Olufsen, depending on how you say it, shop, and also they got a Farrow and Ball shop. Yes. Now that's even more poncy than having Waitrose in your town centre. If you've got one of those, you know that you're in a, what is it, aspirational middle class heaven if you live there. You're probably surrounded by people like Katie Hopkins. Oh dear. Goodness me. She caused a lot of controversy, and some of the things that she says are pretty low, I must admit. I mean, I like speaking my mind, and I don't believe in bullshitting just to make people feel good about themselves, because I think that's actually a negative thing. It doesn't encourage them to sort out whatever their problems are, or, you know, to look at things in a way that perhaps they should do. But yeah, her, Katie, God blimey. I think people do hate her generally because she says stuff that upsets people, but they know it's true, you know, and I get that a bit sometimes. People don't like it. They bloody, you know, they always say they like to be spoken to straight, but at the end of the day, no, they bloody don't. And if you do, people don't like you for it. But anyway, I'd still do her up the wrong end. Woohoo, a bit of road's a bit dodgy there. Probably a bit like Katie from behind, really. Oh, both doors definitely. Smash them in. Boom, boom. Job's a good one. Yeah, I'd love to shag her, I must admit, just for the feel factor. She always seems to wear those really glossy tights, doesn't she? She's got a nice pair of legs. I'll give her that. And those sort of tights sort of like draw your eyes to them, don't they? Because they've got that little glint. I would say the same about Kate Middleton, but she's so bloody skinny. Oh, at least Hopkins has got a bit of flesh about her. Nothing wrong with that, ladies, trust me. Don't want to look like bloody Angelina, anorexic whippet Jolie. I mean, she might be a nice person, but man, she's too thin. She doesn't look good, in my opinion. Sorry, she just doesn't. I suppose it's been talking about Katie Hopkins. Blimey, I can't be too fussy. I'm not exactly in the mood of painting myself. Oh dear. Mind you, I punched above my weight quite a few times. I've got to admit that. I've had a roll in the hay for a few pretty ones, really. Pretty ones. So chauvinistic. Pretty ladies. I do try to be gentlemanly, trust me, and not just because I think it's going to get me somewhere. I do generally, try to be polite to people. But say it again, and it's like Katie Hopkins' flip side. What do you do? I don't know. This is Killington anyway. We just come down that bit past North Oxford Golf Course. There used to be a whacking great big bloody grain silo, but that's now the train station, and everyone's thinking that, like, ew, the train station people are thinking, gosh, look at our house prices, they've gone up so much, because everyone wants to live in Killington. It's like the centre of the universe, and we all commute to London from there, like North Oxford. Well, don't get me wrong, I mean, I grew up here and went to school here, but, you know, it's just bland suburbia on the whole, and yeah, it's not really that great, trust me. It's okay, but it's just stupidly expensive for all it is. I mean, it's no better than some of the places that you could live out in the West Country, where I've lived, and yet the houses here are probably, they're at least twice as much, probably getting on for nearly 3 times as much now. It's just ridiculous. It's talking nearly £300,000 for a bloody 3-bedroom, detached house, and a lot of them are blinking former council, you know. Some of them are that, like, oh, what was it? I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Comcast, like concrete cast? Where they were all bolted together out of prefab concrete panels, and they had a major design flaw because the I think someone, like, in their wisdom, decided to use cast iron brackets to bolt it all together. Now, of course, cement is wet when it's being formed or mixed into these panels, I would think, and yeah, it just rotted the living daylights out of the concrete, the metal supports and brackets, and of course they all just like want to fall out. You know, like when you see those comedy houses when all the sides fall off when someone does a massive fart in them or something. Yeah, it's a great 300 grand for that. Fucking hell. Oh, I don't know. Richard Branson lives here. That's probably like Killington's main claim to fame. Oh God, excuse me. I got a really sore throat and my eyes are streaming as well. There's an old horn there, the old black horse. Yeah, my eyes are killing me and my throat's killing me. I was at Donington Park yesterday. Not only am I frazzled from the first proper bit of sun we've had this year. Yes, it's taken all the way to like April the 7th or 6th or whatever it was to be sunny. It's been so cold this year. I went to Spain the first week of this year to have a look at some houses over there because God, you know, you could buy a house like one of these in Spain but with more land and like a bigger footprint, like the actual square meterage is probably on average half as big again, and yet there'd be like in reasonable sort of areas on the outskirts of a major town for like 30,000-40,000 quid. You're like talking a tenth of the value. Yeah, so there's a difference between cost and value of things. People just, I think on the whole, don't seem to get that in this country. I just can't understand this. I think it's such a great idea to spend so much money on a few piles of bricks in the belief that it's going to make them money. Well, you know, houses years ago, property was, God, it must have been, was at least half as expensive in relation to what people earn on average for the average house as it is now. I mean, they're probably more like 3 times as expensive. And the main reason for that, people can't understand this, and it's just stupid. How much can you borrow a month for a certain percentage of interest rate on your mortgage? I mean, you think when my brother bought his house in the early 90s, they were like 19%. Now, can't people just stop and think how much their mortgage would be if their interest rate was 19% per month for what they paid for it? And like inversely, how cheap the house would have to be the same monthly payment at that interest rate. I don't know. Again, like many things, I don't know. It just mystifies me. I mean, Spain, people take the piss out of it, but they've had their crash, and I think they've done the right thing. They've let the houses fall, and you know, you can get on. You don't even have to have that great job. You can buy a house. If you save up a bit of money, like over there, I should imagine the youngsters live with their parents for a few years, and you know, they're sorted then, aren't they? They can live with them for a while and buy a nice, at least a decent apartment, somewhere near the sea, lovely weather, and just have a bloody good life, and not be like a month away from bankruptcy, like so many people in this country seem to be. I like to think it's apathy, but I think it's ignorance. I really do, because you talk to people who've bought like post 2004. I mean, if you look at the charts, that's when it really went up between sort of 2000 and 2004 in Britain. Ooh, bumps. And that's when things got really stupid. And you know, people have bought since then, and they've gone up a bit because the interest rates now from when like the credit crunch kicked off have dropped right down to 0.5%, and like mortgages now, I remember my mate bought not long before that and he had a mortgage for 4%, like about 2006, and now like people who've got a little bit of equity, you can get one for 2%. People don't realise that that's the interest part of the mortgage, that's half the rate of the interest part. If you had an interest only mortgage of £1,000 at 4%, at 2% is 500 quid. So all that's happened really is not what I would call a recovery in Britain, it's a relapse. Because people are just, all they're doing is borrowing more money. They're not earning any more. Bills haven't really gone down much. You know, crazy. Anyway, nearly time to sign off. Enough of the waffle. Hopefully that's been a good test. Doodly do.